welcome to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm here with a pick a card reading for you. So get cozy, pull up a chair. We're going to have a little chat today because we're all friends when we gather around my table. For today's pick a card reading, we're looking at a no contact situation and we're asking the question, do they miss you and do they still care about you? What are their current feelings? Do they still think about this connection? We do have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 with the red flower and the sort of orange looking sun. Pile number 2 with the white flower and the yellow sun. Pile number 3 with the purple flower and the purple sun. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be messages waiting today from Spirit, and I'm going to jump into pile number 1. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your presence, for your beautiful comments as well, for your suggestions, which I've been reading, and I'm going to incorporate them into my reading options as well. So thank you so much for dropping your content suggestions below. Keep doing that. I love to hear the kind of content that all of you want to see. I do aim to please. I also offer a chance for my subscribers to win a free tarot reading, so be sure to drop your reading below any of my readings this month for your chance to win. And be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can notify you via the comment section and we can get the ball rolling to give you your free reading. For today's pick a card topic, however, it's all about the no contact realm and do they still miss you, or do they miss you and do they still care about you? Pile 1, pile 2, pile number 3. I'm going to jump into pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. You are drawn to the red rose. You're also drawn here to the 9 of Wands, to this sort of orange sun, and this is your reading. Do they miss you? Do they still care about you? Now, the 9 of Wands always for me speaks to somebody who is holding back, but sometimes holding on as well. There's a strength element to the 9 of Wands. So this could be testing their strength. This could be testing your strength as well, very mutually. And there's a sense of independence about the 9, so they could feel really alone in this struggle. They wonder perhaps why you're holding back, perhaps from contact as well. And there's just a sense of luck not on their side. Like I get a sense of almost the opposite of a 4-leaf clover. It's like luck is not on their side, and yet maybe they don't know how to let go. It's like they're still holding on to something, or they're still, again, they could be holding onto resentment, but they are holding on to something. So let's take a look here. There's also a message surrounding empowerment that's coming through with this 9 of Wands. They could feel empowered by holding on to the connection in some way. So do they miss pile number 1? Do they still care? What are their true feelings? 8 of Wands coming out first. Do they miss you? Do they still care? Ten of Swords. Three of Swords. The Lovers. The Wheel of Fortune. Back of the deck is the Queen of Swords, and we have the Hermit. I'm really getting an impression from this person that they are wondering why you haven't reached out to them. Like they're wondering if there's radio silence from your end. It's almost like they're telling themselves that because you've retreated, they also need to retreat. It's like they feel like they have to hold on to strength. There is a little bit of a resentment that comes in with that as well, because I think they've spent a lot of time thinking about this connection. And it's felt a little bit devastating, actually, because I almost feel like somebody's like sat in a bar and drank their sorrows away. It almost feels very cliche in that way, because they're showing me like a bar situation, so that could resonate with you specifically. But they're talking about like overthinking and almost painful thoughts that come in. And some of these painful thoughts definitely do fall towards release. It's like they feel a mounting pressure for momentum, for change, for release, because they are growing tired of the struggle. It feels like a huge struggle. Center of the reading is the Three of Swords. And you'll notice that right in, like going straight through his temples is a sword right through the head. So again, that's a thought, a pervasive thought perhaps as well. And maybe even they've moved on into other connections. They've experienced new connections. Maybe they're moving into a connection in the future, which tells them that they should be able to move on. And yet they're still waiting for that event to happen. Sometimes they've just really wanted to communicate with you. And they felt this, again, a growing pressure to communicate, and yet they hold back, which I feel like took a lot of strength in those moments, a lot of resolve. And there is also this feeling about everything turning itself upside down once I was away from you. It's like the clarity came in too late. And when they look and they compare sort of your actions towards them, and again, it's about the immediate appearance of things. So they're seeing your actions perhaps being very limited. And so they are jumping to conclusions about what that means. And they're saying that you've retreated because it's over for you. And that may not be the case, but that's just their subjective opinion. That's actually being fueled in this moment by this despair and by the disappointment. Feeling let down by, and I feel like it's a bit of a scapegoat energy, because it's like they're feeling let down by your actions towards them, but they're not exactly looking at themselves in the mirror. It's like they're trying to tell themselves that it just is what it is. And it's like they're trying to actually prepare themselves for that mentality of like, it just is what it is. And if I can just accept things as they are, maybe I can move forward. But we don't arrive at the Ten of Swords automatically. We get there through the rumination. And it's kind of obsessive thoughts. So they not only still think about you, it's kind of obsessive. Some of these thoughts, I can't deny, don't kind of fall in the realm of the death cycle of ending. And it's like they're trying to have this attempt made at looking above the deep attraction, deep connection that they feel with you, because they do feel a very deep connection with you. And that can sometimes steal their focus a little bit. Six of Swords, yeah, Tower energy here, and yet they don't know how you feel. So they've had these explosive Tower moments of despair and these acknowledgements of like, I can't go back to yesterday. And that feels very sad. It feels very, it's like they feel like they really missed the boat here. It really feels sometimes in their mindset like you are the one that did get away from them, and they don't feel like they can do anything about it. That's the problem, is that there's a lot of helplessness that I feel like is adding to their exhaustion, because it feels like they could have been holding on for a while. And again, they feel like they're alone in this. They don't realize perhaps that maybe there's a mutual aspect to that despair for you too. But they don't acknowledge that right now, because they are jumping to a conclusion. Knight of Swords supporting the Three of Swords. And part of this process of them, convincing themselves that you don't care, convincing themselves that it just is what it is, this is their effort at trying to move forward in a way. Because it's like, even though the Knight of Swords is looking back at his rider saying, are you sure you want to take that approach? Are you sure you want to rush forward with that opinion? He's just charging forward. Almost in a defense energy. We have the Three of Swords. But that kind of feels like what he's running right into is a lack of clarity. The horse is looking back at the Three of Swords because that's where they're coming from. But this knight is looking towards the Six of Swords. And again, together, that's the rumination of the Nine of Swords. So they spend too much time thinking about you, pile one. It steals all of their energy. It monopolizes them. And I feel like they're looking for answers. Like, in the very least, looking for closure, or they tell themselves they're looking for closure or clarity on how you're feeling. Wheel of Fortune with the Wheel of Fortune. But every time I get like two cards that, especially from the major arcana, that are the same, I can feel the mutual energy surrounding the connection. So they feel very limited and stuck. Perhaps until they can get some conversation, until they can get some more information out of the situation. Because right now their opinion is that you have moved on. But the Spirit says that that's not the case. Here is the Four of Swords with the Ace of Swords coming out as well. There's the Hermit, the Fool, the Six of Wands. They try to act very confident, but they're not very confident. And they realize the reality that has stung them, that they're in such conflict about, is the fact that the full spectrum was available to them after the fact, when it felt like it was too late. And now, and again, that's not even a full spectrum, because they haven't been allowing themselves to see it yet. They haven't allowed themselves to see your point of view, or to give into the pressure to communicate so they can get some of the answers that they're really looking for here. Do they still miss you? Do they still care about pile number one, please? I keep hearing that song by Billie Eilish. You can pretend you don't miss me. You can pretend you don't care, but all you want to do is kiss me. What a shame I'm not there. How do they truly feel, please? Do they miss pile number 1? Do they care? It says your family's not going to like me. This could mean that you've moved into commitment cycles, or they know that there's been new relationships that have come forward on the horizon. I miss you, do you? Straight from the horse's mouth. But uncertainty about you. Do you even see me that way? Are you missing me, or am I alone in this? The reality for them, and it's not a true reality, but the reality for them is that they're alone in this. And yet there's still a defense. It's almost like they are being asked by their guides if they want to drop some of these wands, if they want to move forward, and they're defensively holding on. Defensively holding on. It's like somebody who's drowning and you're trying to save them, but they end up drowning you too. How do they feel, please? Do they still care about pile? It says, I need more balance, but you make me want to do bad things. Now, I can't deny that with the Lovers and the Three of Swords, there could definitely be a third party here for you or for this person. But that doesn't mean that you're not a part of the struggle of what they're balancing or what they're juggling in life. They have work, they have, they have family perhaps, they have relationships, but you're also part of that juggling and that balance. With the Devil energy here, the Capricorn energy of the 15 of the Devil, every time I see that card, I do think of somebody stepping outside of their commitment cycles. They do want you to know that you still matter to them, but that they have kept a lot of that hidden. Now this card's actually separate. It's not even a part of this deck. It's a different deck that got mixed up. But they're sitting upon this information. Like they know that how they feel. It feels like a secret how they feel about you. But they're sitting upon that truth. And every time that they sort of get an intuitive prompt from their higher self to act upon it, which is where the pressure of that 8 of Wands is coming from, they kind of stick their head in the sand about it because they're not sure. Sometimes they feel more confident and feel like maybe you do still have feelings for them, but they get in their own way. It doesn't last very long. Do they still care? Do they miss pile number 1, please? We have the stingray. And I feel like even the name of this creature is very important. The electricity between the two of you, the fact that the 4 of Swords can really hurt and sting, especially when we have the reality that has hit us after the fact. And all of these chakras, the full spectrum of the rainbow being shown along the chakra system. This, like the full spectrum, is exactly what has stung. After they experienced contrast, after they moved forward in life and experienced new things, new environments, the reality of their feelings for you came back to hit them. We have Turtle. I feel like this person could be religious, or they could pray about this connection quite a bit. I'm just seeing somebody on their knees praying about it, praying to give me strength, praying for release. Now the Turtle, for me, I always think about our intuition. And in this case, though, the Turtle's really speaking about slow moving momentum. I also get an impression of like time slipping away. It's like it's like time has slipped away from me. It's like I turned my head and a year went by. I turned my head and another 4 years went by. We have the Horse. Freedom of choice, but a symbol of strength too. In the hair of the horse, it almost looks like braids or like wheat being kind of braided into the hair. And it's a symbol of abundance as well. This person's really kind of concerned about the opinions of other people if they did exercise their free will. We have Nightingale. But they have this, they want to communicate with you. They want to communicate with you. They have so much more that they feel like needs to be said between the two of you. They're just unsure about whether or not you have anything to say. It's like they have convinced themselves that perhaps you don't miss them at all. Give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. But I did see engagement. Your love life has ascended to higher levels of commitment. Perhaps this person has as well, which is why also that they kind of hold back. Staying optimistic and let your friends help you. And that's the issue, is that they have a difficult time staying optimistic. This could have been a friendship in the past that should have evolved into more. I also feel like they could talk about you to like their friend groups or like a very specific close friend as well. We have honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. and children. So commitment cycles could be a factor. Other relationships, perhaps children. Now the honeymoon card also gives me a message about wanting to whisk you off on a secret vacation or having this fantasy about the honeymoon phase. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 1. What was the last thought they had about pile number 1 in the bowl? This person in no contact. Magician reversed. Queen of Wands. Page of Pentacles. The last thought they had was about wasted potential with you. It's like, what a waste. It's like, it's so much potential, so much opportunity. Wasting an opportunity with you as well was on their mind. They're also feeling like you wasted an opportunity. Again, they're kind of in a negative frame of mind right now. They're thinking that you wasted opportunities with them too. But again, that's also their way of kind of expressing this chaotic energy and this lack of control that they feel like they have over their feelings, over the momentum of this connection. They're also wondering if you're ever going to reach out to them. We have Virgo energy. Leo energy with the kitty cat and claiming our independence. And we also have a charm here that says, how I feel about you makes my heart long to be free. We have Taurus or Aries energy here as well. The chain of attachments of somebody who feels held back, maybe by this connection, maybe by an environment. But here's the Ace of Swords, and the stethoscope could be a hospital nursing connection, but also about the heart chakra and how there's a reality that rests inside the heart chakra with this Ace of Swords. And it feels like they are like waiting for more information. Pile number 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me, and be sure to hit your notification bell. You can also check out a link for Etsy for a personal reading, and that is below all of my videos as well, and I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back. But I hope you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile 2. You are drawn to the white rose. You are also drawn here to the yellow sun and the 7 of Pentacles, and this is your reading. Does the person on your mind miss you? Do they still care about this connection in no contact? I get the impression of hopefulness with this card and with the white rose. There's a sense of patience, though. Somebody being really patient to perhaps clarify something, or they have had to be patient because maybe there's a very long-standing no contact situation here too. There's also a feeling about the necessity for clarity, but somebody who's still trying to hold on to some type of optimism. And they're showing like diamond energy, like they're showing the diamonds, and they're talking about, you know, diamonds being forged under pressure. So there's perhaps a lot of pressure that they're feeling to clarify things, to bring themselves forward in some way. So let's take a look here for pile number 2, please. Does the person on their mind miss them? Do they still care about this connection? What are their true feelings at this moment in time? They could be feeling a lot of external pressure from their environment as well. We have the Lovers, Gemini energy coming out first for you, pile 2. We have the Fool. I don't know why, but I'm getting like a sense of like almost ADHD or somebody with a lot of energy. We have the Page of Swords with the Ace of Swords. We have the Death energy. We have the Three of Wands. Back of the deck is the Hanged Man, and we have the King of Pentacles. Ooh, they are feeling a pressure. Just want to see what's underneath that. 8 of Cups. I feel like this person's worried about you walking away completely. And not everything is as it seems here. It feels like not everything is black and white in this situation. It almost feels like it's like somebody's saying your move. It's your move now. It's my move. Now it's your move. It's like we're going back and forth. Here is the Strength. Leo energy coming through. Queen of Pentacles. Three of Wands, Four of Swords. I feel like this person has a strategy towards you, pal, too. I feel like they also could be kind of keeping tabs on you. It could be watching you because they seem to be gathering some information, and they're going to use it for something. They're going to use this information perhaps even to take action, to expand, whether it be release or to expand in this connection. It's like they're waiting to see in which way they're going to find their empowerment here in this situation. We have the Five of Pentacles. And there's a sense of almost impatience coming through as well. Here's the High Priestess. Back of deck is the Eight of Cups, and we have the Nine of Wands, which is interesting because we have here the Eight of Wands with the Eight of Cups underneath that. So that's very interesting to me. So Eight of Cups here, this energy of empowerment by walking away. It's like maybe a bit of a fear when they did walk away as well. This person's afraid to walk away completely, which is why we have the Nine of Wands and why we have the Seven of Pentacles underneath that, because they're afraid to walk away, because what if they do and you meet somebody else? Or what if they do and they recognize, you know, what they're missing and they want to come back? Like, I think this person's really on the fence about staying away from you. And it doesn't necessarily feel like this has been, I mean, there could have been a longevity to the disconnect, but for some, maybe this disconnect has not lasted for very long. And they're a little bit defensive, and that's why they're waiting in this moment, maybe to take a leap of faith towards you or to reach out for you or reach out to you. It just doesn't feel like this connection is completely over, if I'm honest. Or in this person's opinion, it doesn't feel over. They are feeling the separation, but there's a hopefulness that I'm feeling here because they're making a decision, and it's like they're waiting for the perfect moment, or they're waiting for strength, or they're just waiting for maybe the universe to open up, but they're waiting for something to take action towards you. And it involves them taking a leap of faith. And they're showing me this dog, and they're calling it a rat terrier. Like that dog that Ernest on the old Ernest movies would have. They're calling it a rat terrier. And the purpose of the rat terrier was to flush the rats out of the holes, you know. So they're speaking about the ego playing a huge role here in initiating or stopping the initiation of a leap of faith towards you. Because it's like they're contemplating everything that's happened between the two of you in the past. They're contemplating their present energy. They're contemplating what they have to do to make changes or maybe invest something new in this connection. And the truth is that it feels like they're a bit of a secret. It's like they have plans, but it's a bit of a secret in this present moment. So they're being very strategic. They might have even been strategic in walking away from you. It's almost like, I don't want to say it's like a test, but it feels like a strategy of even walking away, thinking I'm going to get empowerment, and then I'm swinging back around to where I actually can achieve some empowerment. Now, you may be kind of anxious about, well, it's their energy though. They're anxious about the sun setting on this connection. They're anxious that you're going to move on. Even though they are acknowledging maybe a mutual pain between the two of you, they're anxious that you're moving forward before they can, or before they have been able to in this moment, and they're actually still anchored in this situation. So even though they're taking a passive approach right now, and they're projecting to the world that they feel good and they feel confident, I don't think they're that confident, and I think that they're wondering if there's going to be a resurgence in the future of this connection. Do they miss you? Do they still care? They watch you. They're feeling the loss. I do feel though that this person almost feels cocky enough that they haven't necessarily let themselves fall into despair today. And this could just be present energy. They're not feeling in despair today. They're feeling kind of hopeful today about the separation, about the potential of expansion here. It's just that it's in their mindset. They're thinking to themselves, I just have one decision to make. I just have to make a decision and then take action. And then if I do that, there's expansion. So it's like they're pretty cocky with what could be waiting for them if they do take action towards you, pal, too. Yeah, we have new life. New life. Taking a leap of faith. They still see potential in this situation. We have Treasure Island. And And we have never-ending story, because it feels like it's only a matter of time, perhaps, before there's a new opportunity or some type of new action that gets applied towards you. I will say here that they are kind of in a smug mentality today, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It gives them confidence, perhaps allows them to kind of maintain the optimism, which they really are hoping to achieve, maybe a new life or new opportunity with you. And this is like a dream. You can see this person's waking up from a nap. So it's like this dream. You're part of that dream. You're part of what their focus is on in this moment. So they don't think it's over, which is why perhaps they're not focusing on missing you so much in this moment. You're still on their mind. The separation is on their mind, but it's almost acting as an initiation tool, because they keep saying this might just be temporary. This separation might just be temporary. Part of that reasoning is trying to protect them from maybe the wave of that negative emotion, but they want to believe that this is just temporary. So it's like they're not letting themselves truly mourn or truly worry in this moment, because it's like they're saying, I know something you don't about my intentions and about my actions that are coming forward. How do they truly feel in this moment? Do they care? We have here, you are my safe space and I am protecting that safe space. This is the Entanglement Oracle deck, and I do have a link below where you can get a discount code on shipping from the seller of this deck, so please check that out if you are interested. We have here, I compare you now to everyone. And you can see that it's like, despite 3 people on this side of the scale, you outweigh the rest. We have here, I wish I could get you out of my head. And it's coming out with, I keep going over that day in my head as well. The hamster wheels. An emphasis on timing too. An emphasis on it's like a matter of time. Or they spent a lot of time focusing here. You are my personal miracle. This person gets a certain amount of security in their ego, thinking that this connection is still available to them as well. You are unlike anyone that I know. Back of deck says, if I was yours, I would put a ring on it. And it's like their feeling of that. I'm hearing that Single Lady song by Beyonce. If you liked it, then you should have put a ring on it. Don't be mad if somebody else wants it. So there's like a fear of you perhaps going off with other people as well. Pile number 2, please. Do they miss you? Do they still care? You have heart-to-heart conversations are needed and honesty to discuss your feelings with each other. And romantic feelings are real and worth exploring. Lots of chemistry here on the back of the deck. And they're showing free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. They're referencing here perhaps attachments to insecurity, attachments to other environments. I don't feel this is over, Pal 2. Your guides are saying that there may be more to come here. And that's not to say that you have to accept more to come in this connection. You are definitely at the helm of what you want to do, or which leap of faith you would like to take in this connection if there is to be more in the future. It just doesn't feel like there's a death cycle here yet. Even though we see, you know, this death energy here, it's like the sun may be setting on the opportunity, but it's not over yet. The sun may be setting when it comes to you and your willingness to have them come back. We have here new beginnings, the Daffodil Fairy, change of seasons, and they are highlighting the fairy. A sense of like uncertainty. It's like I want to believe in it, but a sense of uncertainty here. There's also a reference here of like superstition with the daffodil. It's like there's that superstition, if the daffodil points in your direction, it's like a bad omen or something. And they're referencing judgment and reflection and having to perform a true reflection, because this person kind of lacks a little bit of true clarity when it comes to them and it comes to their actions and how their actions have contributed to the disconnect. We have here taking refuge, number 16, the Tower. Back of the deck says acceptance. And it's interesting because the Tower here is number 16 and yet it says refuge. And so the Tower often creates this epiphany of a lightning bolt and a truth that hits us And that lightning bolt is an inspiration to perhaps change directions, end things, but it's like they don't want things to end permanently. They're not ready yet for that to happen. So I feel like they're hoping that there's this optimistic hope that came in from the beginning of your reading that there will be more to come in the future of this connection. Now, whether that is true for you or not, Spirit says you are working hard on yourself to move forward. So by the time this person does expand, because they are waiting for a time, you may feel frustrated. You may feel like you don't want to kind of revisit this connection. And your guides will walk with you no matter what path you choose to take at that time. Advice for pile 2, please, in the bowl. King of Pentacles, a lot of earth energy, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. We have the 5 of Wands and we have the High Priestess. It's like secretly they get a little jealous over you. Secretly they're a competitive soul. And they don't like the idea of you with other people. So there's a certain amount of determination here to perhaps expand it, or in the very least to connect with you again. But I will say they are taking a little bit of a passive approach, at least for now. They're spending a little bit too long contemplating, not enough time digging things up. In the bowl here we have a and at, and we have princess, we have the letter F. Yeah, every time I see the and, I feel like things are not finished. We also have every fair from fair sometimes declines, and that's from A Midsummer Night Dream. And they're speaking here about the world being a stage. They're also speaking here about the bloom falling off the rose. So the bloom could fall off the rose for you. By the time this person does reach out to you, you could be getting frustrated. We have the leaf of change and the shamanic feather, embracing change. We also have the syringe, I think of medication, but also attachment and insecurities, sometimes addictions. So please take that as it resonates. Pile 2, that's what I had for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below for your chance to win a reading with me. Be sure to hit your notification bell so that we can notify you and get the ball rolling for your free reading. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and that link is below as well. And I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 3. You were drawn to the purple flower. You were also drawn here to the 8 of Cups and the purple circle, the purple sun, and this is your reading. Does the person on your mind in no contact miss you? Do they still care about this connection? Now, the 8 of Cups here, you can see the purple for me is a symbol of empowerment, stating our sovereignty. And the 8 of Cups is about walking away and removing ourselves from a situation or moving ourselves towards something more favorable. So this could be their attempts at trying to move forward, their attempts at trying to embrace the changes that are necessary perhaps in this connection. They may not be able to accomplish it at this present moment. So we're going to take a look at that in this moment. Just adjusting my light here a little bit. So pile number 3, please. Do they miss pile 3? Do they care about pile 3 still? After a no contact situation. How do they currently feel? We have the 10 of Cups. They have the Magician. Spirit says this person was really hung up on what other people thought in the past. It's like they sometimes base decisions on what everybody else would do, like a bit of a lemming. We have the Chariot coming out here with the King of Cups and with the Ace of Pentacles. So we're going to pair those together. This is the Tarot of Mystical Moments. We have the Page of Swords. I just saw the Strength card as well with the Page of Swords. We have the Four of Wands. Back of the deck, we do have the Devil, and we have the Eight of Swords. So we're going to clarify as we go forward as needed. Back of deck, here is the Devil energy. And you were drawn here to the empowerment of the Eight of Cups. And yet that's very conflicting. It feels like a very conflicting energy. We have the Judgment. I feel like there are really important lessons associated with this connection for you and your person. And some of the lessons haven't completely come full circle for them yet, but they're coming. They're coming in a form of vulnerability too. It's like they're realizing that they care too much about what everybody else thought and they didn't prioritize something in your connection in the past. They're just coming to a lot of revelations about you in the present moment, albeit Spirit says a little bit slowly. Even the Chariot here is a snail. They've allowed distractions in their life to distract them from the work that was being called to do here. Here's the Eight of Cups. And every time I see this goose, I think of the wild goose that flies through the moon. And so they're speaking about preparation phases for this person. But they're calling you a cornerstone of this person's like education, spiritual education, or a cornerstone or like a benchmark of their life. Like you are a really important factor in their past. And I feel like they are, part of them is really, they really are being pulled in different directions. Part of them really wants to move on. Part of them wants to feel better. But this person, I feel like they were in love with you, or like it's really hard because I think they did fall for you. And so even this King of Cups, you know, he's got his hand in his pocket. He's got this, I don't know if they're whales or if they're supposed to be sharks churning underneath, and he's holding up this sailboat. The sailboat is symbolizing, you know, somebody who's sailing away from me, an opportunity that's going away. And it's like I have a hard time letting go of that. Even the shark underneath, it's like being cautious or there'll be a loss. And so it's like they're afraid to let it go. And yet it may be exactly what they need. Sometimes they tell themselves that. I feel like they're almost waiting to hear something. They're waiting to hear information. They're waiting to get information from you. They're waiting for communication. And they may even have the intention of communicating with you and taking that action, but they feel like they have to be very like taking a strategic approach for that. And they don't know how, when, or if that's even going to be possible for them. I feel like the two of you could have been very young when you met, or even gone to school together. It's like the two of you were very ill-equipped to handle your feelings, to step outside of other people's expectations. There's a sense of immaturity or emotional immaturity coming through, and they feel the loss, like they feel the separation in the present. This is a moment, this is a connection that does get weighed against others. There's a pin in this one, Spirit says. There's a pin in this connection for this person. And pins are sharp. And, you know, pins keep us on that bulletin board. It's like a to-do list. You're part of a to-do list that this person needs to be able to accomplish, or they need to gain the mastery over this situation that they feel like they've lost. And this is a big part of their ascension. Part of them is still very hopeful and wishes for more. And yet there's a recognition of like, I'm just getting this sense of blooming wherever I get planted. And it's like, I have to bloom wherever I plant myself. And that's part of growing up, or that's part of yeah, it feels like it's part of growing up. We have the Ace of Wands. We do have the Star. I also will say that if they haven't in the recent past, they're going to be watching you online. Spirit's giving me a connectivity energy here with the Star and the Page of Swords, which is my watcher of the deck. This gives them the inspiration to change something. So when they see you online, they could be seeing you maybe in another connection. Maybe they're seeing you moved forward. Whatever information that they're seeing there, it's helping them to graduate through this process. It's helping them to sort of make adjustments, perhaps. And they are speaking about the two of you kind of living a paralleled existence in some way. And this person has not unnoticed that. Like they've noticed that online. So maybe they've gone online, they've seen you in your new career, or they've seen you having fun with friends, or they've seen you in a relationship. And whatever they've seen, it's very parallel to what's going on in their life, which is abundant. I feel like there are abundance that we can focus on and we can really be happy with. There's good things that are happening to them. There are good things that are happening to you, but we can't deny that this situation has monopolized our focus a lot. That this situation, that I feel silly or stupid for not acting upon it. for walking away when I had the opportunity, thinking that maybe I would be empowered elsewhere, giving my empowerment to other people and their opinions. It's like they are feeling foolish because of their actions towards you in the past. And they keep calling themselves an idiot, is what I'm hearing. It's like, I'm such an idiot. Not that they are an idiot, but that's what they tell themselves. We have the Seven of Cups, and we have the Five of Wands. And they have a lot of, like, they wonder a lot about you. They wonder if you're happy. They wonder if you're happy without them. They wonder if you're in a relationship, are you happy with your partner? Like, they really wonder, and they're curious about your emotions and your experiences and what you're feeling here. Yeah, Queen of Cups, back of deck, Empress energy. Now, I do get motherhood energies coming here from the Empress and the Queen of Cups with the Four of Wands. So again, lots of victory for you in life. You don't have to be a mother figure, of course. You could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We have a lot of Aquarius here too. But they're just highlighting for someone watching, if that's your message, you're going to know that that's your message. And that's why they're like, are appearances deceiving? Are you happy? You look happy, but are you truly happy? What does your heart hold? Do you still love me? Like, that's what I'm feeling. There's a sense of the King and Queen of Cups being very paralleled in your emotions. And they wonder if you've let go. It's like, if this sailboat is representing that lid on her cup, should I put my sailboat down? Because have you taken the lid off of that cup? So they're very much curious about you, which is what causes them to kind of reach out to you or look at you online in the very least. They feel like there's a very strong parallel. I do also feel like if you are in a relationship, the jealousy does still hit them. They don't even feel like they perhaps have a right to that, but the jealousy does still hit them as well. How do they truly feel, please? Do they still care? Do they miss? This has taught me what pain really is. And I feel like circumstances have changed. I feel like the things that held us back in the past do not hold us back today. There are other things that hold us back today. So it's like, now I don't care about the opinions of other people. It's like, I don't care about that anymore. But now we have all of these other obstacles in our wake. It is easier to fantasize than it is to make it real. They feel like it's easier to watch you. It's easier to just think about the connection than it is to find the determination to plow through the obstacles. Again, the devil here with the spider analogy, with the toadstool, they're speaking about how I've woven my own destiny. It's like I put myself in this position. So this person feels very foolish because they feel like they've put themselves in this position with you. Perhaps not acknowledging that they could actually move themselves out of that position now that they've gathered awareness over it. I don't know if I will get what I want. Will I get what I want? And I feel like there was a waiting energy that did exist even in the past of this connection. Somebody waited too long. They do still think about expansion. They wonder about you. I didn't want you to rely on me. And this feels so hopeless. Empress energy. And that's the Five of Pentacles. I wish that I had told you the truth when I had the chance. And I never let you in. I never let you into my sanctuary. Four of Wands, Four of Wands. And then we swing all the way back to the Ten of Cups here in the Judgment. And that's what they think about. I never told you what I felt. I wasn't clarifying enough. Because maybe I cared about too much about what you would say, or your reaction to me, or other people's opinions. I watch you, I just can't help it, is on the back of that deck. Do they miss you? This person absolutely still cares about you. In fact, I almost feel like the two of you really love each other. Like, I think even if it's just an innocent love, I think it's genuine, and it feels like two really emotional people. You could both be water signs potentially. You don't have to be, of course. We have Willow, Spirit, Flexibility. Coming out with Manifesting Dreams. I do think of the Ten of Cups when I see this water spirit of manifesting dreams. There's a beautiful message surrounding this otter and how, you know, otters in the wild, they don't want to float away. And I'm hearing that song, and I don't know the name of it, but I think the lyrics say something about, we let the waters rise, we drifted to survive. I let you drift away when I needed you to stay. my love, where are you? And that's what I'm feeling. Oh, it's so sad. My love, where are you? It feels hopeless to them because of the circumstances of your lives at this moment. But the willow spirit here, it's like they're trying to be flexible with the emotional waves that come in. I always get this message with the willow of leave the weeping to the willow and throw your cares into the sea. So there's still a wishful energy. It's like they still have hopeful thoughts. They still wish upon you, wish upon the star here. There's almost like a crush energy that does come through, despite the fact that there is a retreat in this moment. And here with the snow globe, whenever I see a snow globe, I think of something being shaken up and then the storm ensues. So it's like they don't want to create havoc for you or for themselves. They don't want to create upheaval. They just care about you. They haven't really released that love. Even though, again, we've walked away, we haven't walked emotionally away. Attraction. Attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Taking a moment to stop and smell the roses. And it's like they spend sometimes, you know, getting empowered by the thoughts of you. All of the thoughts of you are not completely limiting. They do get empowered by it, but here's separation. Time apart is on the horizon. I don't feel like this person feels like they are able to come towards you. We have free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. And they don't necessarily feel like you're available at this time either. So they do anticipate for this disconnect to maintain, at least for the next little while. But that doesn't mean that it is over emotionally for them. Because I do feel like this person very, very much cares about you, pile 3. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. Dice and bowl for pile 3. The Sun, the Queen of Swords, the Moon. Now, there's a feeling about the Queen of Swords being tight-lipped, or maybe even intentionally not reaching out. So maybe you've even blocked them in the past or something, but just like holding back here clarity because you feel vulnerable. There's a lot of Leo energy and Scorpio in the bowl today as well. And there's a sense of like the divine feminine having a hard time as well, taking advantage of like empowerment, taking on a leadership role when it comes to releasing. Because there's a sense of like, was that my person? It's like my loyalties are being tested now. It's like I need to be loyal to what I love, but I feel like your heart is so big. You love so many different things. Like there's so much love in your heart that loyalty gets a little bit skewed because there's still a piece of your heart that exists here. So it's like we're challenged in what do we need to release, because there's all of these options now on the table of like, well, what can I release? What should I release? And what type of release is Spirit speaking about? We have Q and T, cutie. We do have the screwdriver, and I do think about, you know, being stuck in a cycle for a long time with someone. It's like we don't think we're making any progress. Feeling anchored here by responsibility with the turtle, but also feeling anchored by distance, time, my environment. We have the Holy Family here as a little religious charm. We do have a penny of communication, and the date on here is 1999. It's like we're going to party like it's 1999. We have I can. We have the hammer, though, of self-sabotage. We have the hammer of empowerment, hand of Hamza, and we also have the dragonfly, things coming to light. It's like it's almost like they're afraid of things coming to light because they're afraid that it'll make them change directions. And it may be necessary for them to change directions when it comes to this connection. All right, love, this is what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below for your chance to win a reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back. And I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day.